bars to form on our key stocks. We're going to see where this morning takes us. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Looking forward to it. All right. Guys, I will do my best to walk you through my thoughts right off the open here as the first few minutes form. I'll let you know what I feel might be solid plays on certain stocks. At the same time, I'll be looking for some opportunities for myself. So I'll be doing some multitasking with you, watching your comments, watching the stocks form, looking for interesting things that I feel that's setting up nicely for you, and also interesting things that might be setting up for me. Multitasking. All right. A little bit more than a minute to go. Just keep in mind that you're not searching for anything. I want you to get out of that searching mindset. You're waiting for things to happen. You're waiting for what you know to come to you. All right? You're waiting for your events to step forward in whatever order they're going to step forward. You have no control over what gets presented to you, whether it's an elephant bar, whether it's a bull 180, bear 180. You don't get a choice, but you can sit and just be receptive and wait for whatever presents itself first to you. You have to take this like it's your destiny. All right? Your destiny is whatever presents itself first. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right, let's go. Okay, we're not going to be so anxious to jump the gun on anything here, guys. Let's just let some of the craziness get out of the market here. A lot of the gaps I see are excessive, not all of them. I keep an eye on MU, guys, MU. MU Twitter. MU Twitter. Okay, MU triggering a short here. MU triggering a short here. NVIDIA with the excessive gap down. There's my NVIDIA players here. I don't know if you want to take this short. It's such an excessive gap to the downside, but it is triggering. Okay. So on these gaps that are so sizable to the downside, and your stock gives you a sell signal, you just have to be ready and willing to stop and reverse on it if you take it. Some traders just don't take the signals when they're that far apart. When the gap is that excessive, they just don't take any signals from excessive gaps. All right. I just found that about 50% of excessive gaps that trigger go and 50% don't. So a lot of times I'll take it, but I'll take it smaller than normal, and I'll also be very ready to stop and reverse. Apple's actually triggering a long for anyone who's an Apple player. I think Apple's a long here. You got to be willing to give that stop under the day's low, obviously. Bob is giving a sell signal to the downside here. My Bob players know, well, if it breaks 155 convincingly, but I don't see shorts that make a whole lot of sense in reality, just because of the excessive nature of the gaps to the downside. If you take them, you want to take shorts lightly on any sizable gap. You don't take the normal size of your trade. All right? You got to be willing to stop and reverse. Just keep that in mind. All right? You see the reluctance of things to drop either. Lots of pressure on the market here. Lots of pressure. Apple did not go like I thought here. Okay, NVIDIA. I'm personally stalking the NVIDIA. Okay, no follow through, guys, on the MU. No follow through on the MU. If you took this short, you've got to get out above this bar's high and regroup. Well, not as a matter of fact, not really. I mean, if you have two choices, you can get out above this bar's high and regroup, or you can give yourself maximum loss per trade. There's still a lot of resistance in that gap up there. You understand what I'm saying? So you can choose to take this both ways. Out, regroup above the high, or hold it with maximum stop and try to find an entry place, an additive place in the resistance part of the gap. A lot of times on these mornings, what I used to do is revert to the 5-minute chart. Just so, because a lot of times you want to get the noise out of the market first before committing on anything. And going to a slightly bigger time frame gets that noise out. You know? Okay, NVIDIA here. This is an excessive gap to the downside, so this releases, it could have a nice pop to the upside. There's just so much pressure on the markets here, though, still. So a lot of things don't want to make up their mind yet. Look at NVIDIA doesn't want to make up its mind yet here. That's normal in these excessive gap scenarios. MU does not want to make up its mind. Apple doesn't want to make up its mind yet. Baba doesn't want to make up its mind yet. Microsoft doesn't want to make up its mind yet. We have to wait, be patient. Let me get my pen up here. So guys, I'm stopping NVIDIA. I'm going to actually go long if we get taken out here, but I'm going to also, if we crack this 152.50 level, I'm going to try a short. Now my short will be smaller than my long just because of the excessive nature of the gap. All right. So if I do take a short, it's going to be on a smaller size. If I take a long, it'll be on a normal size, not a heavy size, but a normal size. We'll see. We're doing a Twitter short. Well, listen, guys, the time to do Twitter short is here. If you're shorting it now, that over time is going to get you in trouble. You got to take your shorts, probably got to take your signals properly, you know? Not after 3 or 4 or 5 red bars down. It's not time to really initiate your short. What else is happening here? Microsoft is. What else are you guys doing? JD, okay. Got some small fluidity to the downside there. Showing Apple, yep, that looks like that's now flowing to the downside. Wait a minute, I got that one wrong for sure. But it was playing off the power of this tail and par resistance. So if you got a 50% bounce in there, that's still a really, really nice play. You can't win them all. Oh, here's the NVIDIA. All right, here we go. There we go. Apple continues to drift to the downside. Twitter, MU is holding up really well. Facebook can't make up its mind either. It's weird. Just kind of flipping through here. NVIDIA. Long NVIDIA? Zero? All right. That's a bold one. I don't know what you see as a long right now. But, I mean, does have some reluctance moving down, but it's got that same reluctance moving up, so it's nothing right now. Is the MU, guys? Did anybody add on the MU? Never stopped you out if you did the short. Okay, Jan, you added? Okay, Danielle, okay. Awesome, guys. Okay, cool. There's the NVIDIA. We'll jump in here. So, let me ask you something. Let me ask you guys something. If your stock has gapped down fairly sizable, but gives you a sell signal, and you take the sell signal, so you're down big already, but you get a sell signal and you take it, okay? What do you think your mental objective should be? Should you be looking for huge scores to the downside, or should you tighten your expectations up a little bit? Small, yeah, there you go. Just want to make sure you don't, like I took a scalp here on the NVIDIA, all right? So I'm out on this drop right here. So in on this bar, out on this drop, I'm just not playing around here. It's too back and forth right now. And I'm already down too much. So quick little scalp there. That's gonna try to snap along, stop a little low. Let's gonna give it a shot. It's frisky. I'll take a small loss if it doesn't work. Here. I'm just playing around here, guys. I'm playing really small here. This morning. Nothing to this is not an aggressive position point right now. new lows. I'll just stop out of this. I only got 40 shares, no big deal. I'm playing really, really light here, but stops here. The Baba drops. This is the type of day, though, that could wind up being a huge P&L day for me. So if that moment comes, you know, to be aggressive. If that moment comes. Okay, picking up a little bit of change here on this apple. Coffee money. Coffee money. Okay. Some lunch money. Coffee's a lunch money. All right. Okay. Anybody play the Beyond? Nice little turn there. Buy Beyond. What are you saying, Mary? Are you saying you bought Beyond? Or are you saying buy it now? What? So wait a minute. After it's come from 171 to 176, up near the 200, filling its gap after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars in a row, that's what you want to buy? Mario, come on. Seriously? Like, how long have you been with me? It's crazy. NVIDIA, let's see here. All right, let's see. It had that higher low after this turn. So that does have some promise there. I like that. Let's see what my Apple here is doing. If I should add to this. It's still playing so small here, guys. It's like it's not the time to be aggressive, guys. It's too early. You got one lot for sale on NVIDIA over 153, David? Over or under? Oh, you mean you sold one lot over? Okay. Guys, you guys remember I taught you the concept of space and time. So we have space in a lot of these things, right? There's no question. But we don't really have enough time. So look at your time versus your space. It's out of whack. Now, you know, the best moves come when there's at least some resemblance of equality between space and time. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. But a lot of times you have a lot more time. It has to be a lot more time before you can get a fairly sizable move up. That's why if you take these longs, you got to scalp them when you don't have time. You know, so that's my Apple buy here. That's getting out here. It looks little on the chart, although that's not that little. You know, 60-cent pop or whatever it is. But you know, you can't you can't try to grab aggressive turns without the time factor being in there, even when you have space. Because when you don't have the time, the moves up are small and basically peter out pretty quickly usually, right? So we'll see. Right now, you still have a lot of pressure on the market. It's gonna be hard for your stocks to fight this pressure. Even though there's still not a lot of momentum to the downside. So you got Twitter drifting to the downside. Apple has drifted, but it's not collapsing. You know, there's no collapse here. It's a drift. You know, but you got like, if you take a look at like, you got JD, there's no collapsing to the downside. Microsoft, there's no collapsing. It's drifting. It's sideways, ways-ish. You got Nvidia. You're not collapsing from these lower levels, even though there's a lot of pressure on the market. That tells me if the pressure relieves itself some, these things can pop nicely. But again, more time is required. But if the pressure were to accelerate, then you could get acceleration to the downside from these sideways like movements. So it can still go both ways. But the better odds are, if the better scenario would be the market starts to move up, relieving the pressure. These things that were always reluctant to even go down more, even when the market was really bad, they're going to pop the highest. So whatever is the most reluctant when the market turns will be the biggest winners, statistically. Does that make sense? Whatever went down the least will pop up the most, right? Bob was trying to base out here. No real follow through on this big drop here. It's just actually more of a bullish sign, believe it or not. Well, just took a long here in the I'm gonna try this Baba out here, but guys, I'm still playing really, really small, just so you know. It's because, like I said, these things don't have the proper amount of time yet. But nice little move above that 2 red bars. Actually, this red bar had no follow through. This had no follow through. This had no follow through. Popped above. Let's just see. Yeah, JR2 color rule, absolutely. See what it does here. I'm going to keep my stop real tight here, guys. If we break this low, I'm out. Okay, nice. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. Nice. Now it might be time for me to try this NVIDIA. Let's see. All right, long NVIDIA now. Okay. I'm going to put my stop below this mini bear 180. All right. Stop below this mini bear 180 on this long here. Okay. So again, guys, playing small, like I'm still playing small, guys, nothing sizable. Still a lot of pressure on the markets. It's easing a bit here, though. If we had more time, I'd play these things a little bit more aggressively. Okay. I'll offer some out here. All right. Nice. Nice. All right. Apple did not follow through on this red bar. It's like kind of like the same scenario with Baba not following through on the most negative bar of the entire morning. This is the most negative bar of the entire morning. No follow through. Apple, let's see. Well, this rivals one of the most negative bars of the morning, so no follow through. That's a key sign there. Oh shoot, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. All right, guys. So look, listen. I may not be able to stay with you the whole period, but I want you to know what I'm going to be doing. All right. So I'm going to try to pick the right moment. If I'm stalking NVIDIA again. All right. So NVIDIA is pretty much a break even, a wash for me. I made some money on the short. All right. Lost a tiny bit along here, so it's pretty much a wash for me right now. But if it continues to produce time and the market eases off, I think this is a potential nice move to the upside. Now, if it breaks hard, this time based, then it might have to find a new level before it has a move up. All right. Already took the gains out in the Baba play, so that's done. All right. I'm stalking Apple here, guys. I like the fact that there was no follow through on this red bar. I like the fact that it came all the way back up to cancel out the negativity of that red bar. I want to see how this low holds. But if this low holds, all right, I'm stalking this for a move back up to maybe the $200 area. All right. So I'm stalking. These are the two plays I'm stalking. Now, what I'm saying about Microsoft here is, if you look at Microsoft, look at the low, look at this low, and then look at this low. So it's very simple, but these higher lows are the clearest indication that down at these levels, you got institutions gobbling up some shares. So on the pullbacks, they're buying. On the pullbacks, they're buying. On the pullbacks, they're buying. You understand? So we're going to see NVIDIA is drifting down here near the lower part of its range. Now, again, if it breaks this range, then it's just going to have to seek another level to settle down at. But just so you know, guys, I'm stalking Apple and I'm stalking NVIDIA. I grabbed a quick, nice little pop in the Baba. And so later in the day, if you see something big from me, know that you heard my plan first. All right. Now, if they don't develop like that, then it's just going to be another August day here, you know, another August midday summer doldrums day, you know. But so far, it's looking interesting. Look at Microsoft. The Apple's trying to settle here. The Baba never accelerated to the downside or followed through on its most negative bar. All right. All right, so NVIDIA broke. All right, let's see. All right, guys, so listen, do not forget that you are dealing also with the slowest month of the year. Okay, August is the slowest month of the year. Why is that? Because it's a huge vacation month for professional traders. All right, institutional traders. This is a huge vacation month, and it gets worse and worse, slower and slower as we progress throughout the toward the end of the month. So every day, every week gets worse. Well, every week I should say gets worse in terms of its slowness. What this means is that a lot of times the follow through will be spotty. So sometimes you might get follow through at play. A lot of times you're not, just because the participants aren't participating at full throttle. A lot of participants are absent, gone. All right. So just keep that in mind. What does this mean? This means that you can shrink your profit goals a bit. So let's say you've been operating off a 3-push profit rule, and you can drop yourself to a 2-push profit rule. You understand? All right. All right, guys. So I will see you during our next session. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. Don't play big, guys. Don't play big. Don't play big. In this case, missed money is a little bit better than lost money. All right. I'd rather you miss something than lose right now. All right. Let time get into the market a bit. Okay. Let some more time get into the market. We need more movement to the right first. Got it? All right. Now, one other thing. If you're going to try to play a move to the upside after some more time is developed, remember, you need violence. Do not act on a reversal move before you get violence. You need green violence. And you need that green violence to rip through a chunk of red. So for instance, if we take this NVIDIA here, you would need like something say, wow, like that. You understand? And that green will be ripping through a chunk of red. So you need time, look, time plus violence plus space or espacio. See? So time, violence, and space. Some of you understand this. These three, before anything can be done. All right? All right. Trade well, guys. Ciao for now.